My grandmother forces all her house guests to follow a strange set of rules. My grandmother is superstitious. It was only when I lived with her for the summer that I realized how bad it had gotten. She had this huge list taped to the fridge with 10 different rules she claimed everyone had to abide by, and she was making me follow them too. When I opened my umbrella inside, she grabbed my arm and yanked me back. "Don't open the umbrella inside. Didn't you see the rules?" "Oh, sorry, I thought those rules were just for you." "No. Everyone who lives here must obey the rules," she said in a raspy whisper. It made me really sad. Once, Grandma Jan was sharp as a needle, a grounded, logical person who only occasionally bought into superstitions and the paranormal. A rabbit's foot here, a penny there. But now it seemed like that part of her had grown and grown until it consumed everything else. With a heavy heart, I walked over to the fridge and read the rules. Do not spill salt. Do not open umbrellas inside. Do not put on clothes inside out. Do not clip fingernails after dark. Do not break any mirrors. Mostly common superstitions, though the fingernail one was weird. I continued reading, her handwriting growing messier and more frenzied as I went down the list. Do not look in the mirror while wearing black. Do not whistle inside the house. If you wake up to see your bedroom door open, do not close it. Likewise, if you see the attic stairs pulled down, do not push them back up. Never let the refrigerator go empty. Always have enough to make an offering. Keep the curtains closed after 10 p.m. Do not open them again until 6 a.m. I wanted to tell her it was a whole lot of hogwash, but then I realized it was probably a bad idea to upset her at such an old age. "No problem, Grandma. I'll follow the rules." "Yeah, right." She put me in the spare bedroom, down the hall from her. It was a small room, furnished with only a twin bed and a tiny desk, but I couldn't complain. It was either this for free or an apartment for over $1,000 a month. But of course, the money wasn't the main reason I was here. My grandma probably wouldn't be around much longer. According to my mom, she'd been getting these random bruises, and doctors were worried she had a blood disorder, and some other stuff I couldn't pronounce. I wanted to spend all the time I could with her. She was still my grandma, still the one who comforted me when my first cat died, still the one who taught me how to bake the most amazing snickerdoodles. I loved her, even if I had to put up with some weird-ass rules. "I'm going to bed," she said as she passed by my room that night. "Sleep well, Nick. I love you." "Good night, Grandma. I love you too." I spent an hour on my phone, scrolling through social media, then put it away and fell asleep. I woke up a few hours later. Groaning in the darkness, I rolled over to see my bedroom door open. I didn't leave that open. I stared at it, half asleep, too tired to get up and close it. Well, according to the rules, I can't close it anyway. I snuggled up to my pillow and closed my eyes. That's when I heard the whistling, a soft, melancholy tune, coming from downstairs. Every muscle in my body froze. That was one of the rules, wasn't it? No whistling inside? So why would Grandma be whistling downstairs? I glanced at the clock. 2 a.m.? I pulled myself out of bed and walked into the hallway. The attic stairs had been pulled down. The darkness from the attic bled down into the hallway, along with the faint smell of rust and rotten food. Behind it, Grandma's door hung open. I slowly descended the stairs. "Grandma?" The whistling stopped. When I entered the kitchen, it was empty. "Grandma, where are you?" "Over here." I turned to see Grandma appear from the dark family room, wearing her floral nightdress. "Did I wake you, honey? I'm so sorry. I wanted to get some milk for my heartburn." No, it's fine. I just thought you weren't supposed to whistle," I said with a chuckle. "According to the rules..." "You heard the whistling?" she asked, her eyes wide. I nodded. She grabbed my arm in a vice grip and led me back upstairs. "Go back to sleep," she commanded. Before I could reply, she disappeared into her bedroom, leaving my door open. "I think Grandma's going crazy," I said the next day. "Oh, are you talking about her rules?" Mom replied on the other end of the call. "I know they're eccentric, but she gets really upset if you break them, and the doctor doesn't want us to upset her, you know?" I sighed. "Isn't it bad for her mental health?" "We all go a little crazy near the end," Mom said with a heavy tone. "Uncle Finley thought the government was tapping his phones in his 90s. Just let her be, okay?" "Fine." So I followed the rules. I didn't open any umbrellas indoors, whistle, or break any mirrors. Sometimes I'd wake up to see my door open, but I just ignored it. A few times, I hit my head on the attic stairs that were inexplicably pulled down. Once or twice, I heard the whistling again, but I ignored that too. Things were fine until Sunday. I was watching Netflix when I heard a clink, then a shout. I threw my phone down and ran downstairs. "Grandma, are you okay?" I found her standing in the kitchen, sobbing over a spilled salt shaker. "It's all clean, see?" I said, sweeping the salt into the trash. Her sobs quieted, but she looked at me with wide eyes. "But he'll know," she whispered. "Who?" "The spirit of the house." That night I barely slept. At around 4:15 I heard it. Thump, thump, thump. Soft footsteps from the attic. Then, creak! The attic stairs pulled down. "Grandma?" I called, opening my door. Her bed was empty. I raced downstairs and froze. Grandma stood there, trembling. In front of her stood him. Not a spirit, a man. His unkempt beard, wild eyes, and tattered clothes were unmistakable. "You've broken the rules," he said with a yellow-toothed grin. "No," I shouted, charging at him. "We collided." "Call the cops!" I yelled at Grandma. She grabbed the phone while I pinned him down, using a chair to knock him out. The man's name was Gary. He was a homeless drifter who had been living in the attic for months, sneaking down at night to steal food and torment my grandmother. He'd manipulated her fragile state, convincing her that he was the spirit of the house and using her fears to keep her under control. She'd been too afraid to tell anyone, believing his threats that breaking the rules would bring terrible consequences. The police took Gary away that night. Grandma moved in with me the next day. It took a while for her to recover, physically and mentally, but with time, she started to heal. As for the rules, she doesn't follow them anymore. She even whistles while cooking sometimes, a soft, sweet tune that fills the air with warmth instead of dread. But I still wake up some nights in a cold sweat, hearing those thump, thump, thump sounds in my dreams. Hey, if you enjoyed this story and wanted to hear more terrifying tales, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support means the world to me, and it helps keep these stories coming. Until next time, stay safe, stay alert, and remember, you never know what's lurking around the corner.